Nice to have you here. So you may be wondering what this is. It is 9:30 in the morning and it's not alcohol. This is Jammu. We are in the epicenter of the Spice Islands. In fact, this part of the country was the administrative arm of the Dutch East Indies Company. And Jammu is a mixture of turmeric, some cloves, some ginger, and a natural palm sugar, and it's our anti-corona medicine here. Everybody drinks it a little bit a day, and we're gonna enjoy a little bit while we're doing this presentation. And if you come and visit us, we could give you this every day. We normally drink it about twice a day, so we'll put that aside. So moving on with the presentation. Yeah, cheers. Cheers. Bottoms up.
Somebody just asked if you can ship. Danny, somebody just asked if you can ship it.
Oh boy. There's no preservatives or anything, sorry. It's completely natural. So we're gonna start the presentation now with a click of a button. Oh, good job. So this is just the front slide, giving you a little bit of an idea of what we're doing during the lockdown. By the way, if you do hear some banging in the background, that's because we totally ripped down the restaurant and the kitchen, and we're completely redoing it. This is just a collage from around the 3 properties. You can see construction going on, gardening going on. On your bottom left slide, with that big rock there, this is amazing. These guys take these huge boulders from Banca, guys with cigarette in their mouth, no shirt and sandals, with a big old 10-pound sledgehammer breaking down those rocks, smiling all day long, and it's just great. But the point is, we're trying to put as many people to work as possible. So we're going to talk about Passport to Paradise, the new normal, Murex Minato, Banca, Lembeh Resort, and the Lembeh Foundation. All right. So this just, as Julia said and as Steve said, gives you an idea of the 3 different types of diving and the 3 different resorts: wall diving, reef diving, muck diving. Okay, we're gonna have a little 2-minute video. Okay, so that was Murex Manado, Banca, and Lembeh Resort.
I hope those kids were paid scale to be in that video.
That's slave labor, Steve. Come on now. So just real quick about the coronavirus and what we're doing here. A lot of training. Our GM been working very hard. All the WHO, Dan protocol, we're being followed. We're training. We're following up. And actually what happened a couple of months ago, we made a super strong effort to get everybody through this training. And now that Indonesian borders won't open until the beginning of next year, maybe the end of this year, it's sort of relaxed. So the positive side is we're going to have to do it again and reinforce it all. So all around, and some of this is colleague to colleague training. So we have the Indonesians training the Indonesians. You know, we have our mechanics learning computers, all kinds of stuff. Oh, here's my favorite one on Banca with the rock crushing. Just love that, and how many people we can employ doing this is great. Go ahead. Another thing that we're doing is farming projects and organic farming. On all 3 locations, we're growing all types of foods. We're experimenting with a lot of different vegetables and fruits. The point being is when you come and visit us, we're going to have farm to table vegetables and fruits for you at all 3 locations. And the hydroponics on the top right is absolutely ballistic. It grows leafy vegetables, pak choy, you guys would call that, I forget what you call it in the States, lettuce, all the leafy vegetables. So the lettuce comes out like crazy. We've really got it down, and it's still an experiment. We're moving forward with it. And here's what we do to keep away the grasshoppers and the other bugs. It's a natural pesticides, mixing this together. In the white dish there with the green, that's actually normal dishwashing soap mixed with water. And we mix all these things together, put it in a sprayer, and the guys have at it. Now you have to spray it more often than normal pesticide, but it's worth it. You can go right down, pick a tomato right off the vine and eat it, just like the old days. Repair work at Lembeh Resort, at the resort, and the boats. Here's some things with the Lembeh Foundation making masks. How many hundreds of masks they've made? Hundreds and hundreds of masks for free distribution. Here's something that we're really proud of, and you can get involved in if you're interested. This filter is Dutch technology, and you may recall after years ago with that terrible tsunami and some of the earthquakes that have happened in this part of the world, subsequent to, they had cholera issues. Well, in the last few years, you never hear any cholera issues. That's because these filters were distributed by the thousands to ensure that people have safe drinking water. You can actually take a mud puddle and filter it through this and have clean, potable drinking water. So we hooked up with these guys, and we first bought 200 filters and started distributing them to all the staff. And now we're taking this with, then we receive donations. We're taking it into the villages and distributing these filters so people have free, clean, drinkable water for their families. And it's working out super well. The staff love it, and the villagers love it, and it's just great. It's great. She's got a little video for you on this. Yeah. This is
what we need to care about even more than before is to make our team members and our guests safe and comfortable.
Dev Resort and creators at Lembeh Resort are ready to welcome you. Our staffs are fully trained in post-conflict protocol, and every department in each of our resorts and dive operations have procedures in place to ensure our guests' safety, comfort, and enjoyment. Our new procedures cover every aspect of our operations, and we are fully compliant with CDC, WHO, and the Indonesian government regulations. Dive and stay with us without worry. We are looking forward to meeting you.
So that beautiful woman was my wife. So here, let's get to the fun stuff. Passport to Paradise. This is a map of North Sulawesi, and you could see Bunaken National Park, then at the top end Bangka, and then on the right side there, the east side is Lembeh Island. And from one location to the next, you're going to transfer by boat. Your luggage either goes on the boat, or we bring that before you arrive, and it'll be waiting in your room when you arrive. So you're diving along the way. There's no downtime with the travel. So here's some Murex Manado, 15 cottages, restaurant. We'll just quickly go through this. Lots of the wall divings are. Turtles are fantastic, bigger fish, and National Park has twice the number of species of hard coral than the entire Great Barrier Reef. Here's some land tours. You could do this from Lembeh, you could do this from Bangka, you could do this from Manado. Okay, then on to the next location, Murex Bangka. What you see is what it is, that nice white sandy beach. Lots of dive sites all around this area, and some further far, but normally in Bangka, the boat trips are about 15-20 minutes. Okay. And we're expanding this property. We've got some new cottages that we put in. We're going to be putting in we're starting actually with tree houses here as well. We've got solar panels providing electricity during the day, generators still at night, but the panels are fantastic, working flawlessly. Same restaurant, and here's the sunset views from right in front of the resort. And then we'll talk about, Steve can tell you, and anybody that's dived with us, how knowledgeable the dive guides are. They know the critters. They actually are tested on the critters by our in-house marine biologists. We've got customized ID slates. And it just helps people learn a little bit more about what they're seeing and have some fun with the guides and so forth. And occasionally we'll see the dugongs, but really, really super colorful reefs. And here's a short video on the Bangka diving. Okay, and then this is the island where you stay. You're looking at the mainland there from the white sandy beach. House reef is fantastic. Night dives on the house reef, day dives, snorkeling, just swimming. It's really pretty and it's right there. All right. Great for kids. We've got the paddle boards, the sea kayaks. Yeah. And on Banca, we have a coral project at each location, but we're spending more time with it on Banca because we're involving the villagers, and we've partnered with Ocean Gardener Foundation. They're based on Bali, and the project's going super well. This is right in the beginning. We don't have some updated images. Oh, Julia does actually, but it's a great way to train the guides. It's a great way to get guests involved and the villagers all involved together trying to grow the coral. And it's working super well. The coral then is in this farm. Then we take it to rehab maybe some storm damaged areas and just continue to escalate the growth of coral in that area where there's been some damage. Yeah. Okay. So now we move on to Lembeh, and it's a short boat ride from Banca to Lembeh. Very good, Julz.
So this is Lembeh Resort. So it takes about 45 minutes away from Banca by boat. When guests transferring, they do normally 2 dives on the way to Lembeh Resort and arrive at the resort during lunchtime. And then the guests be able to do the afternoon dive or the night dive or house reef dive or a mandarin fish dive, because this is very special fish in Lembeh Strait. And then since Lembeh is a black sand, we do have our nice pool deck in here nearby the swimming pool, and then all the public location it's nearby each other, which is you can see on the right bottom is the equipment area, and next to it is the camera rooms and the dive center. And then in Lembeh Strait from Lembeh Resort, the dive site is within 5 to 15 minutes away. So most of the time the boat is back after each dive. And this is the only one cliffside suite that we have in Lembeh Resort, and it's only in Lembeh Resort. And we have a private swimming pool in here in this villa. This is the view from the room, and then also a really nice overlook to the strait from the swimming pool. And we have, this is nice newly 13 luxury cottages in these resorts. This is the view overlook the strait as well. And then we do have 6 garden view rooms, which is location between the garden, nice large tropical garden. And then the amenity is the same as in the luxury cottages, but this room is more smaller. And then for the people who have a lack of climbing the stairs, which is really nice view anyway from the luxury, this is one of this garden view room is one of Steve's favorite room. And then a nice way to finish your fantastic day after diving. And then this is the highest volcanoes in North Sulawesi, Mount Klabat, and we have just a perfect location to see the full sunset. And then the wide selection of the local European cuisine, and then also we be able to arrange some dietary requirements if needed to. And then this is our Smiley Deki. Deki is the supervisor of our restaurants, and then he is smiling with the team. It's ready to prepare some food and smile during your meals. And then in Lembeh, both location in Manado, Banca, and Lembeh, we do have a comfortable fast boat, which is normally we use for transferring day from these locations. That is why we equip with the bathroom inside, and then really nice deck for people to enjoy the sunshine after the dive, because after the dive, normally when we do transferring, we have like 50 to 60 minutes relax surface interval. And then this is our nicely and clean camera room. So each guest will have their own tables, which is, you can have a look at it. We can equip by 40 guests inside these camera rooms, for small, for big one, for videos. And we have international plugs, and then people can leave their cameras in here. It's next to the equipment area, so it's easy to carry on the boat. And then our staff will be happy to help to carry on your cameras if you wish. And then cameras at Lembeh Resort is opened in 2009 by Steve Fish, our beloved first photo pro in-house. And then back in last year, September 2019, we are the only one for now, the Backscatter authorized photo center. So we work together with Backscatter, so we'll be able to sell some their product. Also, we have our in-house photo pro, which will be available for any course, as well as our photo pro assistants, which is our 3 locals dive guides. And then this is the interior of the photo center, which is, sometimes we have a small classroom in here, can equip about 6 to 8 guests. And then as well with our photo pro, like on the right bottom side, you can see our 3 local photo pro assistants. It's been trained by our in-house photo pros. And then we have 2 full-time marine biologists who teach our dive guides on the behaviors, and as well as many as critters education as possible, and they get tests every 3 months for all critters names as well as the behaviors. And then they keep maintain our house reef as well as some of the dive sites. And then this is the house reef, only a few steps away from the resort. And then you can do any time you want, and then it's really nice during a night dive. And this is one of the favorites of Steve, blue ring octopus, and a frogfish, flamboyant cuttlefish. And this is really special fish, which is only come out during a dusk time. So normally we offering this mandarin fish dive only once a week, because we need to share with the other resorts as well. As this is the only, we only have 1 dive sites in Lembeh Strait that we're able to see this fish. And this is a short video about Lembeh Strait. Disco clap. And in Lembeh Strait, we have 13 different frogfish alive. This is one of the hairy frogfish. And then this is the iconic critters in Lembeh. It's a mimic octopus.
That's just a teaser.
Yeah. And then in these 3 locations, we'll be able to arrange a blackwater or bonfire dive in Murex, Manado, Bangka, and Lembeh Strait. And this is some of the quick pic images that you can see during this dive. And then now come to the Lembeh Foundation. This is the first foundation in Lembeh Strait that we are Lembeh Resort together with 3 local staff, which is including me. with the GM as well, we try to build some sustainable and then environment and give some education to the villagers. And then we do build a small library in the village nearby the resort, and we call it this as a pilot project. And then we hope all the resort around Lembeh Strait will be able to join this foundation, so then they can pick one of the village for, as a pilot project for themselves. For now, within Lembeh Strait, we have around 16 resorts. So we hope we can make the same thing on the 16th village. And then this is the trash bank, which is now also the only one trash bank in the Lembeh Island. So people can bring their trash, and then we can give them some money. Sometimes they change with rice and stuff. This makes people not throwing away plastics in the oceans. And then also we do have like a monthly presentation for the kids and also the homestay mother in the village, so then they can take care more on their trash. Instead of throwing it away, they can sell it to us. And then this picture taken before Corona, of course. And then we do have our weekly cleanup in the straits with all staff. Also some villagers really willing to help us to clean up. And then, yeah, this is worked really well. It's happened once a week, sometimes twice a week. And then in Lembeh Foundation website, lembehfoundation.org, we do have a just built donation center, which is people can help out the villagers, the community on Lembeh Island to support and empowering communities like for the kids, for the school. So in here, you can simply buy some product, and then that money goes directly to the one who's needed. We have like a family packs, we have a water filters, and then some other donation in here. It's in lembehfoundation.org. And then this is a couple of the dive trip group with weavers, which is we have total a lot of trips with them, and then everybody happy, and then like almost most of them is keep coming back, and then I still keep seeing Steve in the resort
Happily.
And then if you guys really have, hopefully it's going to be open the border, and then this is our annual Capturing Critters in Lembeh underwater photography workshops, which is will be held on the 30th January until 6th February. And then this is will be a 7 nights workshops, and we do also have another 2 nights extensions, which is we can offer not only a mock dive, because we have a couple of different dive sites like coral dive sites around the straits. So we've been invited, Jade and Hanley, they are husband and wife, really professional photographers, as well as Alex Tattersall, which is our friend. He's been with us like 3 to 4 workshops. And then we will announce our next workshops later, which is you will see on Weaver's post.
For 2022.
For 2022.
And that's the presentation. We can go back to stop the screen share. Yeah. So that leaves a little bit of time for some questions and comments from Steve.
I've got a few. Somebody asked to explain blackwater diving a little bit more.
Oh, good question. Yeah. So blackwater diving is taking the boat out and suspending yourself. Maybe the boat, normally the way we do it, there's a few different ways to do it, but what we like to do is in a no current area, suspend, not on anchor. We drop lights down, big lights down, to attract animals from below a little bit deeper. So from maybe they're coming up 100 feet, 75 feet. The light can reach that far, and so that the animals are attracted to the light. After a bit of time, we suspend ourselves on the dive. We dive in, but we're tethered. Okay, obviously we wanted it in an area where it's dark as possible and a little bit deeper than normal. Then we tether on, and the animals come up to the lights. They're attracted to the lights. The big lights are suspended below you, and we just wait and see what happens. And it is pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's a great thing to try. The difference between the Blackwater and the bonfire. So the bonfire, we go to an area normally where we would already be doing a night dive. We set the lights down on a tripod in the sand, in the substrate. And then we wait for a little while. Then we go in and do the dive. And the nice thing about the bonfire dive is it also encompasses your normal night dive in the reef if you want. Then we slowly ascend the lights, and as we ascend as divers, the lights also ascend. So both are about an hour. The commitment is a little bit longer because you want to, while you're still on the boat, you want to suspend the big lights down about 10, maybe even 20 minutes before you actually go in the water. Really fun thing to do. Really fun thing to do. And there's better times to do the Blackwater dive. Obviously the moon cycles come into play. A full moon, it's not as much stuff comes out. So yeah. Does that help?
Yeah. Somebody asked about water temperatures.
About 80, 82 degrees. It would be unusual to get down to 78. It can get up to 84. Yeah.
A comment, somebody really loved the demo about safety procedures.
Okay.
Somebody said, we miss this place so much, pure magic. Somebody else said, great info, Julia, thank you. Let's see what else we have here. You mentioned the water purification systems and that might be a way that people could get involved. What did you mean by that?
So essentially we're accepting donations, and we can point you to we could send you, Steve, the link if you want to send that out to people, but it is on the websites through the Lembeh Foundation, even the Murex website. And for about, if I'm not mistaken, including shipping up here, because they're manufactured in Java, for about $35, we can get a filter that's sufficient for a family of 6. And that filter would last solid 2 years, probably longer. And then they wanted to, down the road, the people can replace the filter itself, which is about $18. So the whole unit, the unit would last forever. You just have to replace the filter part. There's no mechanical pieces to it. It's really great.
We just forwarded out to you guys in chat the link for the Lembeh Foundation. So if you are so inclined, they do some amazing work there over and above the water filters, like Julz was talking about. They do incredible stuff with minimizing plastic pollution, providing school supplies for the kids, providing jobs. I mean, it's just an amazing organization. So I would highly encourage you, if you have a little extra money and you want to help out a really worthwhile cause, I would highly recommend that you look at this. Just a couple things, Danny and Julz. First of all, thank you so much for joining us from all the way from Manado in Indonesia. It's it's super depressing that I can't be there with you right now. My last dive this year was in January with you guys for the photo workshop. And if I have to have had a last dive this year, that's a good one to have, because I'm still full of a lot of memories and images that I've captured on that trip. But just a little personal note, I discovered Lembeh for the first time 24 years ago. I think I was 19 then when I came there the first time. And I fell in love with the place. And what intrigued me the most about it was it's so different than anywhere else in the world I've ever been. On any given dive, you will see no less than 15 things you've never seen anywhere else in the world. And you literally come up from a dive not able to remember what you saw at the beginning of the dive, because you've seen so many other things throughout the dive that it's just amazing how the dive masters do a great job, first of all, of pointing things out, but they also keep track of everything that they find on their slates, and they can share that with you at the end of the dive. And inevitably I have people going, wow, I didn't remember even seeing that frogfish at the beginning of the dive, because there were so many other things you saw before the dive was over. So incredible amount of critters there. And then you've got Banca and Bunaken that has the beautiful, beautiful coral reefs and walls, lots of turtles. I think some of you may have heard me talk about one of the dives we did in Banca that we saw 34 turtles on one dive. Actually, that may have been Bunaken now that I think about it. But it's just unbelievable. And then the beauty of being able to go by boat between each of those 3 destinations. So you never have to pack up your dive gear or your photography equipment. You just get on the boat like a normal dive day. The resort will transfer your luggage by road from one resort to the other. And then you just go on a normal 2-tank dive trip, but you end up at another destination at the end of that day, or midday actually. Check into your new room, you spend however many nights you're going to spend there, and then you get on the boat for another normal dive day, and you do 2 dives and end up at the next dive destination. So it's super seamless and super easy, and you don't end up missing that day where you're transferring from one resort to another. So it's really great. Somebody just put a great message in there that said, think of it as Disney meets Dr. Seuss in neon. That's perfect. That's actually a perfect description. So
Something
yeah.
funny also about
What's that, Danny?
Something funny also about Lembeh diving. For those of you who've not dived in Lembeh before, I can almost guarantee you're all hyped up, great briefing, all this stuff. Your first dive, you will descend and you'll like, what the heck did I spend my money on and time coming here for? What is this? What are you guys talking about? And then all of a sudden, pop, 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 pop. And your eyes will just burst out of your mask. It's fantastic.
One of the stories that I've told over and over again is typical day in Lembeh is with a new group. We're going out to the dive site, and it's not typically very pretty water on the surface a lot of times. So people are looking at me like, why the heck did you bring us to this godforsaken place? And then you pull into a little cove where there's a lot of leaves and trees and stuff that have like washed up against the shore. And again, people are looking at me like I'm crazy. And then you get in the water and the visibility's not great. I mean, it's like maybe 30, 40, 50 foot visibility, and virtually no coral on a lot of the dives. It's black sand. And again, people are just regretting being on the trip and ready to kill me. And then like Danny says, it starts and it doesn't stop. And by the time we come up from that dive, without exception, every single person I've ever taken there has said to me, how many more dives are we going to get to do here? Because it's just that unbelievable. And it's just like nowhere else on earth. And I love it. I mean, if you can't tell, I love the place. It's absolutely one of my favorite places. And it's going to make me very sad to think I'm not going there in the near future. But I'm hoping I can come back for the photo workshop again in February this year, end of January, first part of
30
February.
Jan, yeah.
Because that's a great program you guys have been doing. I've done it now, I think 4 times I've done that workshop. It's amazing for photographers. So, so enough about that. We do have our group trip going, doing the Passport to Paradise, October 1 to 13, 2021. I want to see everybody writing that down right now. And we do still have some limited space on that, so please feel free to sign up. Encourage everybody to visit lembehfoundation.org, also Lembeh Resort and Murex Resorts, and Critters at Lembeh to see more about what they have. The Lembeh Resort website has incredible critter identification pages that help you learn about the different critters that are there. It's really, really, really amazing accumulation of photographs of critters and definitions. They have a marine scientist on staff there named Dimpy, who knows about everything. And one of the things, before I stop babbling about this, is Indonesia, you may have heard, is the land of smiles. And that's one of the things that I love the most about traveling there, is the people are so friendly and so charming and welcoming that you'll feel like you're more of a guest in their home than a tourist. So highly, highly recommend it. Have I gushed enough, Danny, at this point?
So much so we're gonna have another glass of jamu.
Yeah, somebody asked what the name of that was again, if you could just repeat that.
Jamu, Jamu. I have no idea what it means in English.
No English version. It's only in Indonesia.
Yeah. They've been drinking this for hundreds of years. Yeah.
So again, I want to thank Danny and Julz for being with us tonight, or this morning.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Steve.
And we're just delighted that you did your presentation. It was amazing.